Peterman. Our sound engineer is Robert Richards. This program is produced at the University of Richmond in cooperation with WCVE Public Radio. Transcripts, podcast, audio, and video are available at amomentintime.com.
This is the Mental Health Minute with Dr. Ariel Leese.
Social anxiety is one of the most pervasive mental conditions. Its impact on a person's life can be far-reaching, and it's not uncommon for a sufferer to shape their world around fear avoidance. Social anxiety is a cycle and worsens when avoiding the very things driving it. Symptoms are hard to hide. The brain says there's nothing to fear, but the body responds with blushing and sweating and trembling and dizziness. Drug and alcohol abuse are common methods of escaping social anxiety. There are treatment options for the condition. A first, being willing to conquer the mental giants head-on, one day at a time, with the support of family and friends. Left untreated, social anxiety can prevent a person from reaching their full potential. If you or a loved one's social silence has gone beyond shyness to a point of social despair and isolation, please seek professional help immediately.
For questions or more resources, text 258-1029.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott Michlin.
And I'm Jenny Lee Ryan.
And we're here to tell you how to become a zero-mile achiever.
First, register online for the 0 Mile Fun Run at KSJE.com.
Second, join us at San Juan College Graduation Plaza on Saturday, May 18th.
Third, run. We'll start the race at 10:30 a.m. on an actual 27-foot course downhill, and that's it.
All proceeds benefit listener-supported KSJE.
So register now at KSJE.com.
Thane Maynard here. The 90-Second Naturalist is a compact little radio show with expansive goals to raise awareness and improve understanding of the natural world. To do this, we take just 90 seconds and present stories about the plants and animals around us. The facts are fun, the sound effects are neat, and the host ain't so bad either. Please join me for the 90-Second Naturalist.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30. Wednesday morning here on KSJE, and it's time to take a trip to the Encouragement Lab. That is where Communications Professor Dr. Mike Hattabaugh is standing by. Good morning, Dr. Hattabaugh.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us, and we are starting a series of conversations on traps this week.
Life's big traps. Where we get trapped in life and why, and some ways out of it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, what's the first one?
So the first one is victimhood. We get trapped in our own victimhood, where we decide, oh, I'm a victim of my past, my boss, my inability to, translate, my inability to read, my inability to be physical, whatever it is.
Okay.
We get caught in our own victimhood, and that is one of life's big traps.
Interesting. So how do we get out of that? How do we avoid that?
We get out of it by saying, you know what, I'm responsible for my own life, and while my experience may be different than someone else's, the only thing that's holding me back often is myself. And what we have to ask ourselves is, what is our limiting beliefs? And a lot of our limiting beliefs are, I can't because I'm missing something in order to do it. And yet life is full of people who are incredibly successful despite a handicap of some sort, or a sense of the culture or environment that they live in is unfair. And as I watch politics right now in our culture and around the world, by the way, whether it's in Paris or the Middle East or everywhere, but we all have this sense of, you're keeping me from being successful, therefore I have to punish you in some way, or keep you down in some way, or all those kind of things. I think sometimes in the academic world, we get a little too hung up on, we can define all these victimhoods, but it doesn't always help the people that are actually victims of what we discover climb out.
Interesting. Okay. And so how do we avoid these traps, this trap especially?
Well, I think that starts with just saying, life's not fair. And yeah, there will be hindrances in my way, and there will be things that keep me from being successful in some areas, and I may not be able to be, I will never be able to dunk a basketball like Shaquille O'Neal. That won't happen.
Right.
And now at this age, I'll never dunk another basketball, right? But if I wanted to go get better at basketball, I could. I can't just say, well, I'm just a victim of only being 6'2". I'm not tall enough to be an NBA center, so I'm going to give up. Well, if my goal is to play more basketball, I can go down here to the local Y and play a lot of basketball and get pretty good at it. But or I can say, oh, I'm a victim of my own height. I can't be successful there.
Got it. Okay. Well, that makes sense. And, of course, I imagine there's a lot more other things that we could be doing, too, besides just looking at it that way as well. And this is, again, it's good advice for relationships and work and home and no matter what, right?
Sure, and the idea behind this is not to get caught up in, again, like I said, I'm glad that people research where life's not fair, and we're trying to constantly kind of make adjustments inside of society to make the playing field fair as much as possible. But the reality is it's always going to be leaning. And what I love about it is, I'm a big baseball fan. I'm going to stick with a sports metaphor here, but the most successful baseball players I see are not the guys with the greatest talent. They're the guys that have said, you know what, despite my lack of talent, raw ability, physical status, whatever, I'm going to be the gritty guy that says, you know what, you will not fail me. I will make this work, and I'll outwork you, I'll outthink you, I'll do everything in my power to adapt, even though I don't have some of the natural skills that maybe other people have. And we do the same thing with, the smartest people don't finish at the top of their class in medical school. The people who finish the top of their class are the people that said, you know what, I'm committed to this, I'm all in. And in order to be all in, you have to leave victimhood behind and say, you know what, I can't let my lack of ability in one area keep me from moving forward. And that's just life. That's everywhere we look. That's surrounded like that. So I think sometimes we realize, oh, I'm a victim of something, therefore I'm not going to work as hard. And I say go for it, because there's great exceptions to every single rule of what should make somebody successful.
That sounds like some good advice, Dr. Hattabaugh. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. That is Dr. Mike Hattabaugh. He joins me every Wednesday right here from the Encouragement Lab on KSJE Farmington. 8:58 Wednesday morning on KSJE. It is 50 degrees outside our studios here at San Juan College as we take a look at the campus after some of our April showers, and hopefully we'll be producing some May flowers, and our forecast does call for maybe an isolated rain shower this afternoon. Partly sunny skies today with a high of 62 in Farmington, 40 overnight, and then things do tend to dry out and warm up and brighten up with mostly sunny skies for the next several days. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 67, 69 by Friday, 72 on Saturday, upper 70s on Sunday and Monday, and overnight lows from 38 tomorrow night up to 50 degrees for an overnight low on Monday night. That is the weather forecast for the next several days right here from KSJE. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. Have a great Wednesday. I will be back with you tomorrow morning with archaeologist Paul Reed at 8 a.m. on KSJE Farmington.
Sure, the 90-second naturalist is all about animals and plants, but it's also about us humans. After all, what creature is more amazing? We're the most creative and destructive, intelligent and foolish, loving and hateful beings on Earth. And we've come to have a significant effect, good or bad, on everything we touch. I'm Thane Maynard. Tune into the 90-second naturalist and find out how we're interacting with the natural world today.
Listen every weekday